Good morning, all my DVMS family. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's on my face there. Hope everybody's doing well today. May 8th. Today is it, man. It's the end of Teacher Appreciation Week, but know that you are very, very appreciated. Regardless whether it's a week that acknowledges that or not, you are still very, very much appreciated. Today is my last day of the Jones Boy Chronicles, man. Last day, but I want to share two special people with you. Today is about our elective teachers today. Seems like sometimes they get left out, you know what I mean? So I'm talking about all our coaches. I'm talking about team leadership, computers, business, Miss Tina, all you guys like that whole collective group, band, that whole collective group, art, all you guys. Today is your day. And so I want to start it off. I have a story about two very, very special people. And so the first one I'm going to talk about is Miss Autry. Miss Autry was my humanities teacher. I was at Lamar Middle School. Yeah, I went to a lot of different schools living here in Austin. But I was at Lamar Middle School in 7th grade. And Miss Autry, great, great lady. And so the first time I walked in her class, I just remember it was me and, of course, again, a bunch of knuckleheads, we all in there. And so this little old lady walks in the classroom, and I'll never forget it. She's about maybe 5'2", sandy blonde hair. You're looking at her like, man, like, who is this? Like, what we gonna be doing here? So I remember that day, like, we were in there clowning as a group, just kind of clowning around, acting a fool. Now, this is the first day of class, all right? And so she's like, guys, I need y'all to get quiet. Hey, let's get this going, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever, like, anybody trying to hear that. So I'll never forget. I remember she had said something to me, and I had mumbled something under my breath. And she looked at me with, like, this scowl on her face. And I was like, oh. She ain't play, like, she mad. And I looked at her, I was like, it ain't what you thought I said. And she was like, I need you to step outside. And I was like, step outside? I was like, all right. So mind you, my aunt actually worked at the school at the time too, okay? So I'm like, I don't need my auntie finding out about this. Like, I'm trying to, like, And she brings me outside and she says, what's your name? I said, Daryl Jones. She said, well, let me tell you something, Daryl Jones. She said, and I quote, she said, I am not going to have any of that in my classroom. She said, all of that you wanting to show out in front of your friends, all of that you wanting to be the cool kid, all of that you want. She said, I'm not going to have. She said, if you want to tango with me, sir, she said, feel free to do so. She said, but she said, I'm going to let you know one thing. She said, if you want to tango with me, believe me, she said, it's going to be one heck of a dance. She said, I'm going to be the one to lead it. And I was like, huh? And basically she would let me know if I wanted that smoke, she was going to give it to me. So what I come to find out about Miss Autry that day, and for the rest of the year when I had her class, but what I come to find out about her was Miss Autry was a military kid. Father was in the military, and she was the only girl in her family. She had brothers. She had 3 other brothers. And she was the only girl. And so she just talked about how being in a military family, she talked about how her mom and dad both grew up poor, and how life on the other side was, she was like, this, she was like, this wasn't, I'm not just, I'm not some rich kid from the, from the burbs. She was like, I didn't been down, she was like, this ain't what y'all think it is. And so what I used to call her, I called her the drill sergeant. That was a nickname I gave her when I was there. I ended up just falling in love with Miss Autry, man, because she was tough, man. She was tough, but she was firm and she was fair. And I have the utmost respect for Miss Autry. Still somebody, again, till this day, that I love and I care about, and I'm like, man, she's awesome. And so she was a woman at the end of the day that really helped shape and molded me. You talk about, discipline, structure, things like that. She imparted that in me, and so I'm very, very thankful for Miss Autry today. I'm very, very thankful for her. Now, the second person I'm gonna talk about is very meaningful to me, and that's Coach Andrew Jackson. Uh, I met Coach Jackson as an 8th grade kid when I was at Dobie. I went to Lanier High School for a little bit, and I ended up transferring to Reagan. And when I got around Coach Jackson, when I was able to go to Reagan and be around Coach Jackson, I learned so many things from Coach Jackson. Coach Jackson, he was a mentor for me. He was somebody that you could talk to, somebody I cared about deeply, and he cared about me as a person. Coach Jack used to impart a lot of wisdom upon me, and I remember a couple of things he said, and one of them was he asked me one time, he said, Daryl Jones, he said, do you know what character is, son? I said, what you mean, character? He said, character is who you are when no one is watching. He said, who are you when your mama back turned, or when my back is turned? Who are you? Who is the real you? Who are you? And it really made me think, like, he was like, because he used to always say, what you do in the dark will come to the light, Daryl Jones. He used to always call my full name. And so it was really, really funny. That part was always really, really funny. And another thing he told me always was, he said, when you go to college, don't mess it up for the guy behind you. And I never understood what that meant until one day he sat down and explained it to me. He said, man, understand something. He said, when you go to school, you represent this school. And he said, if you go to school, man, he said, and you go off and you don't represent this school well, he said, coaches will never come by this school ever again to recruit any of our kids. And you'll mess it up for the person behind you, who may need a chance to go to school and get an education. And so, with that being said, that is the reason why I went to Howard Payne. That's the reason why I worked as hard as I did when I was in college. That's the reason why I still work hard till this day, is because I don't want to mess it up for the kid behind me. I don't want to mess it up for the person that's coming behind me. And these were all lessons that were taught, not only just by Coach Jackson, but by the teachers that I talked about this week. Understand something. There have been many teachers that I've had over the course of my years that have poured into me, that have given me great advice, that have done things for me that have been, I can't even mention them. Because it's so many. But the teachers that I just talked about this week, and the ones that I told stories about, and the ones that you heard about this week, are the teachers that had some of the hugest impact, not only on my life in education, but on my life as a father, on my life as a friend. These people have made me. Each one of them has poured into me, and if you listen to my stories, each one of them, you can see each one of them has come out in me, from talking to me and so forth. And so, like I said, the reason why this deal with Coach Jackson was really tough. He passed away in 2017, but I still have those great memories of Coach Jackson, and he's still somebody that even to this day I still revere. He's someone that is still on my mind all the time, and he's someone that taught me lessons that I will never ever forget and that I will take with me for the rest of my life, just as all my other teachers have. I want to say thank you to all the teachers at DVMS. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your love. Continue pushing through. I look forward to seeing you guys again at some point. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your teacher appreciation week. Hope you went out and got your free meals and stuff like that. Order them, go out and pick them up. But I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I know this video is a little bit longer because it's the last day, but I wanted to make sure that my message got out and it got to all you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work, DVMS. Thank you to all the support staff. Thank you to every teacher, every administrator. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great weekend, and remember to be on a mission for success. Over and out.